Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Elite Clockman here. For the first time ever, Part 4 of Episode 39 of SKIBIDI Multiverse just got released, and I think Dom is currently going crazy with all these releases and his locked team. But I don't mind labor if we can get episodes like that one, because it must be one of the best and richest episode of the series. Speaking of Dom, the big boss finally made his move in the series to save William and Billy. The special agents are now aware of C-Pen's betrayal, and soon the whole alliance will. We also got a glimpse of the fight of the future Large Clockman and the Commander. And let me just tell you, the fight of these monsters would clown all Titan fights combined. We will also talk about the Alliance not knowing about the massacres. But before we get to all that, please make sure to like and subscribe if you have a total 10 toes on your feet. Anyways, here we go. After the credit screen, we start off with the clash between the future Large Clockman and the Commander, with the Clockman getting thrown out of the tower from a hit. He used his shield he used to block. Notice how the wall is still intact despite the future Large Clockman coming out of it. And this is due to the town being trapped in time, so it can't be changed unless a Clockman willingly does it using his power. We then see Bro activating his powers. It looked like he was about to make some big move, but then he shakes it off and puts his hands behind his back, as if he already won the fight. You can see the Commander getting confused and thinking carefully about his next move. Suddenly, a spider web that Big Daddy Toilet evaded at the last minute appeared out of nowhere and surprised him. I think that the future Clockman didn't actually cancel his attack, but the attack itself was in fact a summon. Out of nowhere, Bro just summoned the first Clock Strider ever, and let me tell you, this giant bug bites. As soon as it spawned, the heavy beast jumped on the Commander, who evaded at the last minute before getting crushed. It didn't stop there. The summoned creature summoned in its turn Time Crystal from the ground at an incredible pace. The smart thing predicted that the Commander will try to flee by flight, so just as his feet left the ground, a giant time web pinned him into the wall. It was no ordinary web, since Toilet General Zod, who almost had the strength of a Titan, just couldn't immediately free himself, and even struggled. Notice how there is an after image of the time web after it is taken off the wall by the Clock Strider. It must be reinforced with time power, which explains its strength and durability. Anyways, after the Clock Strider took the trapped Commander off the wall, it showered him with a total of 12 webs, excluding the one it pinned on the floor. And yes, I am so single and lifeless that I started to count the fast webs thrown by the Strider at the Commander. I really need a partner to throw my web at. I would even take men, heck, even the toilet bald scientist at this point. Anyways, here is when the badass streak of the Clock Strider ends, because the Commander of the SKIBIDI squad casually uses his immense Kryptonian-like strength and speed to free himself from the time web and clown the golden spider a clock, by outspeeding its eye inside a time-stopping dome where only Clockman could move, him a toilet, and literally hit it so fast that it exploded after he finished striking a pose, like one of those crazy katana moments. Honestly, I gotta admit, I really underestimated the Commander. I knew that he was one of the strongest in the verse, but to think it could use its super speed inside the timeless domain. Bro is so fast that he broke the time barrier and had more than enough speed left, like my father getting the milk, to freely move inside. Anyways, the arrogant future Large Clockman just sighed after seeing the Commander wiping the dust off his uniform and waiting for his next move, and asked if he actually had to fight full force before starting to repair the Clock Strider mid-fight. Honestly, I pity this Clockman. Even if he is the strongest clock character excluding the YouTubers, underestimating your opponent will never end well. Especially if that someone is the Superman of the verse and one of the best written characters that your Titan couldn't stop. In the next, we switch to the special agents rescuing Drill Woman with Speaker Woman using 2 katanas to pull a mini Deadpool. Dark Mommy starts by slicing the throat of the first G-Man soldier before slashing the leg of the second and piercing the eyes of the last one, like my doctor did to his when I was born. Obviously, I was a gorgeous baby. In the meantime, Plunger Cameraman and Dark Speaker Man were taking turns on Billy. And let me tell you the size if the big guy didn't favor him in this fight with these 2 speedy arrows. After the big guy throws a failed punch that they evaded, Plunger Cameraman opened the festivities with a plunger to the right side of the face, followed by the Dark Speaker Man using his knife to slice off the other side. Luckily for him, he was able to hit Plunger Cameraman before his next hit, but before he could even reach the Dark Speaker Man, the plunger decided to swing back by putting 3 toilet paper bombs in his neck before flying away. The whole jumping thing wasn't pleasant for the toilet, but those 3 bombs really hurt. After that, we switched to male 06, aka William, who decided to walk down the smart Drillman to finish him off. Bro must think that this Drillman was a joke since he was just drilling the ground, but let me tell you, he can't be more wrong. Just as William got close, the Drillman stopped drilling the ground, pointed his device at the toilet before rotating it in the opposite direction, firing a crazy laser beam. I think this weapon takes energy from drilling the ground and releases it when turned in the other direction, which explains this ridiculous move throughout the series. This guy is far more interesting than what he looks. We will get to him later, because now it was the assassin Drillman's turn to take a swing at male 06. After William blocks the knife of assassin Drillman with his bare hand, the animation immediately changed, as if their fight started in Spider-Man Far From Home and ended in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Just as assassin Drillman jumped to deliver the first punch, we could hear the sound of the Sharingan from Naruto, and let me tell that the drill boy really became a Madara-level fighter in this scene. Just as the fight starts, Scarecrow releases his fear toxin, and now it looked like the battle was inside Assassin Drillman's memories, as we can see some details that identifies him, like the Steve in the background, or the van of TV Woman in episode 28 where they were fighting. At first, it was Assassin Drillman who managed to block most of William's hit. Blood even did a front flip to evade the destructive punch of William to jump over him. But just as you saw earlier with the knife, that masked toilet had some incredible reflexes and punched the Assassin Drillman off the imaginary van before he could even land on it. After that, Bro sees a train coming his way, even if it's an imaginary construct or a real one that looks like a train, because the gas Daddy Drillman dodged it out of precaution. I really want that gas, since Bro was so high that he saw the train covering the sky, so Bro pulled out his sword just in case. Illusion or not, male 06 throwing explosions at him was really real, which he dodges with ease. But the next move is absolutely crazy, because Assassin Drillman turns from a ninja to a bloody samurai. Bro took the pose and concentrated, and at the right moment was able to slice William. Male 06's arm fell to the ground after it was cut like butter, and yet he kept on fighting. I don't know if Bro can't feel pain at this point, or if he just ignores it. Also notice the color of William's blood. It's the same as his poisonous gas. In other words, Bro was using his own blood as a weapon, which means he could die from using it too much. Honestly, it fits him very well. A man ready to sacrifice anything to take down his enemy and avenge his loved ones. Anyways, after cutting his arm, Bro uses the train to stomp the toilet's head on it. Blood is truly a ninja, because his senses made him realize that it was in fact the cage of Drill Woman. Finally, the bars were gone. After that, we see cute baby mama TV Woman struggling to block the lasers of a G-Man soldier when Plunger Cameraman took his attention by smacking him in his face. After that, Billy, who just got his senses back after those toilet paper bombs, immediately tried to crush the TV cutie as he saw her, but she dodges his hand right before using her jetpack to get close to his face, hit him with a TV beam before flying off to her friend's cage. Finally, after more than 10 episodes, TV Woman and Drill Woman were face to face. Look at her TV face. Look how happy she looks when she reunites with her friend and gave her hand. After a long-awaited handshake, TV Woman teleport with Drill Woman out of the cage. Seeing this, the Drill Man started to drill the ground once again, but not for the reason you think. We then see Plunger Cameraman giving my Clock Woman a thumbs up after she repaired him using her clock powers. In the next scene, we see the poor big guy Billy rushing to defend his injured friend as the special agents were ganging up on him. This was actually one of the saddest moments in the series, as Billy told them to keep their distances as he uses his last strength to do a super clap that blew everyone away except Daddy Assassin Drillman, because he is a gigachad claiming that he will not let his friends die. But here, listen to it yourself without any interruption. Hear the despair inside his voice as he collapses because of his injuries and exhaustion. The next scene is unique. It is the first time we hear an actual conversation between the two Sids of this endless war. The defeated William cursed the Alliance, accusing them of purging the innocent. TV Woman claimed that they lost an entire race while pointing at the assassin Drillman as a drill man, and then claimed that despite losing his people, he didn't take it personally and called it an act of war. She called him a sassy. My brother is not going to be happy about this. But Male 06 claimed that it was the answer of a simple artificial intelligence to call the killing of children an act of war. The whole squad was confused, since they didn't anything about children massacres, which was the slaughter at the human village made by C-Pen. Even the smart Drillman got out of his hole to affirm that they don't know. And this hole is pretty interesting, but we'll talk about it later. Suddenly, the pen gave to them by C-Pen in episode 28 in order to help them. The pen started to talk of how the toilets were lying to gain some time, but Assassin Drillman immediately knew that C-Pen was in fact a traitor. The ninja used his trained hearing to detect the lies of Megatron. In the end, the white robot didn't care anymore and used the power of the pen to draw a ton of missiles, so Clockwoman used her pistol to quickly freeze it in time. Now they had a few seconds before the time freeze goes off, so Plunger Cameraman asked the assassin to use the cube to get them out of there. After that, we see a scene that has a lot of impact on the future plot. Assassin Drillman, who lost his race to the toilets, was about to help two of their best warriors after seeing their soft side. And I want to make that clear. He didn't save them because of revenge, but because Billy and William would surely refuse wasting the precious seconds they have left. Just like that, the mission was a success, and Drill Woman was finally free, as her and the rest of the agents teleported away. But that's not the best part. Remember the whole of the smart Drillman? What if he made it because he predicted something like this would happen? Does that mean that he knew about C-Pen all along? And if he did, why did he stay silent? Only time will reveal, only time will tell. Bro really is one of the smartest characters in the series. And to top it off, if you pause at the right moment, you can see that he wasn't teleported with the rest. In other words, he is still in his hole and up to something good. As soon as they teleported, the missiles were unfrozen, which led to the room to collapse. Seeing his desperate state, William asked the Toilet Hulk to escape and not worry about him since he is already doomed. But in a selfless moment, the tired Billy, who couldn't carry his injured friend, decided to stay with his friend at the cost of his life so he won't die alone. But here, listen to it without any interruption. This toilet was truly a human. But here comes the best part, because as the roof collapses on their heads, suddenly everything froze. It wasn't time stop, no, it was much more powerful, as SKIBIDI Multiverse was paused from the inside. The two toilets wondered who the mysterious figure who saved them was. It was no other than Dom himself. Finally, the big boss decided to make his move. And that's the end of this episode. Honestly, I am happy that Billy and William survived, because to die at the hands of the special agents wasn't fit for brave soldiers like them. My friends, we have reached the end of this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you love the drill race. See you guys next time.